This is a heat of the Diamond Jubilee Challenge Cup. Shrewsbury School in the yellow boat against Trentham Boat Club in that black canvas boat on the right of your screen.
And once again, this is the quadruple sculls. That means each athlete has 2 oars in their hand, as opposed to what we just saw in the white pole, where each athlete has 1 oar in their hand. And so it looks as though we're off here.
And a very strong start there. Shrewsbury School just moving away in those first stages of the race.
And you can see right now they're settling into a nice rhythm here, looking over, making heads or tails of what's going on.
Yeah, Trentham have been, you see them on the up and the up from northwest up near Stoke, doing a really good job with their program there. But Shrewsbury School are actually not too far from them. Over.
Yeah, so maybe these crews will have met before earlier in the year.
For sure. And actually what happened this year, if you're watching the National Schools Regatta, the racing got kind of squashed together because it was so windy. For lots of the junior crews you'll see this week, not necessarily a fair reflection of where they're at. But Trentham, maybe a little look around there to make sure they're not going to head towards those booms. There's plenty of water. They need to move back on course because they're heading towards the booms at the moment.
And that's the wild thing about this race, at least when I first came over. The umpire doesn't correct your course if you're going to steer into the booms, you know. So in one of my first races, my competitor ran into the booms, and I was like, oh, I couldn't imagine. But the umpires don't tell you what you're doing.
No, we like to do that at Henley, actually. There's no one above the start telling you to get on the starting blocks. There's not many people telling you what to do. Once you're here at this elite race, you know, you're ready to go. So the umpire will only warn you if you're impeding another crew. You can see that great shot of Shrewsbury coming alongside them, those floating wooden booms we keep talking about. In normal races, you'd have buoys or buoys, if you're watching from the States, that kind of guide the way, but you can normally hit them and they're going to do you no harm. These bad boys, you crash into them, it's pretty much race over.
Yeah, so you have athletes, and they're really working hard to stay focused on the racing, and to have that ominous boom lurking over to the side is one of the things that actually makes Henley a little bit exciting and exhilarating.
Overhead shot there. Look at those oars going in. Look at that power going down for these 4 women squeezing their boat along over there on the Berkshire station, as they're going to be really enjoying this feeling of being so far up at Henley, staring back at Trentham, who are still in it. They're only a few lengths behind, but I think at this point, really controlled race by Shrewsbury College.
Yeah, and you know, it's one of those tough things. Like, this is your shot. You have one day, and each race is important. And you can see here, once again, you have a crew that is rowing really well. And there's nothing that they're doing wrong. It's just that other crew has managed to get ahead and get a comfortable lead and continue to move away.
Well, no one's ever really doing anything wrong, are they, in rowing? They're just doing it slower.
Well, you know, some of my coaches told me that I wasn't doing it right, but you know, in the end, I got it.
Yeah, look at you now. You're only as good as you tell people you were, but great shot there. Both crews as they come through the enclosures. The enclosures kind of last 500 meters of the regatta. They're coming along, roaring towards Henley. You see the town of Henley there, the church silhouetted in the background. And a great shot for us. All the rowers will see, though, is pain behind them in the rest of the course, and either victory or a loss.
And you know, as you say, this is an iconic shot here. You have all of the crews, you have the church in the background, you have the enclosure on the side, and to me, this is one of the things that just shows all of the great things about Henley.
Oh, shot there, the blue oars of Shrewsbury School. Squeezing back along these yellow boats. You'll see a lot of them, M-Packers, German-made boats. The very best out there. There's a few ranges of them, but people like to row in these yellow M-Packers.
Yeah, they've produced some great boats throughout the past. One of the things I love about our current state in terms of rowing technology is that a lot of boat manufacturers have managed to catch up, I think. And so there's just such a wide variety of boats that you'll see out there.
What did you row in, Felipe?
I rode in Felipe, I rode in Hudson, I rode in a bunch of different boats.
Gets around.
Resolute, I won Henley in the Diamonds in a Resolute.
Drop that in. He's won Henley.
Yeah.
As we stare down here, the last couple of 100 metres is textbook rowing from Shrewsbury. They're still keeping the striking up pretty high. Still racing against this Trentham crew. Put in a strong finish. They're coming towards us through the progress boards. Really fair play to them. This is their Henley. This is their history today. How close can they make that race? A little look around in the bow seat there. Molly Pierce, you can tell her crew, we've got this, as they cross the finish line. And the beep to let Trentham know they finished, but that's a win. The Diamond Jubilee for Shrewsbury School over Trentham Boat Club.